Hello there guys, good evening. I got something to share with you guys. It may not look like it, but this character got a secret buff, which I did not saw coming from a mile away. It may not look like it, but yeah, this guy is back in the business. The business? Yeah, he's back in business. What are you looking at? All right, let's just get it for you. All right, be happy now. So I don't know if you guys know this, but ever since this domain appeared in this game, I've been farming. This artifact sucks. But regardless of the fact, this is still the most damage dealing set for Nefer. And I'm still trying my best to get myself a decent crit damage, elemental mastery, crit rate headpiece for Nefer, which I'm successfully unable to get. But what has happened by me farming this artifact domain is that I was able to get this piece of work. It may not look like it, but if you know, you give 120 elemental mastery boost and 10% lunar reaction damage to this green lady over here. Yeah, finally, again, we have Dendro and Geo working with each other in sync. All right, I don't know if you guys know this, but Instructor did not work with Zhongli, all right? Instructor had massive issues. Now, if you have Dendro aura on the enemy, this guy's probably not going to do any reaction. It's not going to increase the elemental mastery of Nefer. It's not going to make it 120 out of nowhere. It does not go and work. But if you just go and equip this artifact set. Yeah, look at that. I'm totally flexing this on you. Like, it's such a good artifact set, but literally on the wrong set. Like, it's such a good artifact, but on the wrong set. It breaks my heart, you know? But hey, if you have this artifact set with this guy, you know, this particular artifact set, you can do this. All right. Do her E-skill. Do her burst. You are able to give her elemental mastery bonus. I mean, I did not saw that coming. Yeah, I thought this artifact set... Okay, shut up. I thought that artifact set only worked on Fischl, but no, it actually also works on Zhongli. It is fantastic. I mean, he's back from the dead. It is insane, and she get to do shit ton of damage. Oh wait, come on, damage. 82,866 on her last hit. So Zhongli helps her get 120 elemental mastery, 10% damage increase, and you do a bit more damage. Yeah, we just gotta make sure that pillar is somewhat hitting the enemy. Like, yeah, that's the only thing that you gotta be careful about. Let's say if you do make a mistake of literally breaking his shield on top of the enemy, you can still get his buff for a brief amount of time, you know? Oh, wait, no. Okay, I killed the enemy, never mind. So yeah, feel free to not even place his shield properly. You know, you can, come on, zoom in, yeah. You can truly just go and break his shield on top of enemy's head, and you will still be able to give Nefer buff long enough so that she can finish her rotation. I know about the fact that a lot of people will talk about Diona. Yeah, Diona is also an amazing shield character. In fact, she has 200 buff of elemental mastery from her C6. Her issue is this particular thing and this particular thing. You know, it sucks. You know, the 20-second cooldown. It may not look like it, but it holds this character back quite a bit. What's the issue with Zhongli? He has 12-second cooldown and 20-second shield duration, which is literally just the opposite of the Diona's problem. There's one more thing that he does with his shield, this particular shield. 20% defense shred of everything. Every single damage you can possibly do in this game with every single character there are in the game. He can make sure that just by placing his shield like this,
solidify.
And as long as your shield is active, not the pillar, your shield, everything will have 20% res shred, which is insane because like everything's defense gets reduced. Dude, shut up. Be quiet, man. Come on. I'm making a video. Don't do it like this, brother. One thing that I really want to talk about is, I'm pretty sure some of you guys noticed this in the middle of the video. When you have two different characters like this, you know, Nefer and Lama, who's able to give 2 moon sign bonus. If non-moon character, for example, in this particular team means either Farina or Zhongli, when they do either her elemental skill, their elemental skill or elemental burst, they increase lunar reaction damage, which is done by Nefer by 36%. Depends upon this. So for example, 39. All right, let's just call it 40,000 because it'll be easier for me to do the math. Yeah, you got to multiply 40 by 0.6 and that gives us 24%. It could look like a massive damage boost, but let me just assure you, it is actually not. If you do E skill off your Farina in the end, you do 82,866. But let's say if you do Farina at the start of the rotation, I need some energy. If you do Zhongli's shield later on, then you do slightly less damage. All right, slightly less. You see, elemental damage does not affect Nefer that much. So yeah, if you do use someone like Farina in the end before switching to Nefer, you do slightly more damage compared to when you're switching Zhongli. Because again, it is the new reaction system. Not that big of a deal, but yeah, there's something that you should maybe know. I did not expected this guy to be so effective in team with Nefer. I am just surprised, and I hope you guys are too. So my previous rating when I said do not get this guy, I think if you're playing on a phone, he's almost like a must. And if you are looking for a really solid sustain, somebody who can keep your team alive, I think you can feel free to get this guy. In my previous video, I was so wrong. We have a lot of character coming into this game. We got this dumbass joining game. We got this dumbass joining game. We got this woman over there who's joining the game. The roster is basically full for how many characters you can get, but like if you're somebody who plays on a phone, it could be one of the best investment that you will do in this game. Yeah, I did not expect this to work, but hey, it did. Thank you, Nefer, for being on my account. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to farm this artifact domain, which was so fucking bad, but I ended up getting something positive out of it, for at least an old character. I'm always happy to see an old character get a buff. I'm always happy to see this. If you guys made this far into the video, thank you very much. Hope we meet again.